don't actually can hear them. Oh, they can. I figured it out. So
we win it, yes.
So the setting I couldn't change while live, believe it or not.
Ah,
So good thing I did switch it off for 2 seconds. Okay. So you can see you,
okay,
you can
great.
see me, you can hear me, and you can hear you. So guys, as we were saying, we're talking
That's
about
awesome.
Everearn. I've known Dave, God, probably when I first started my channel actually. Back in like
Yeah, definitely more
November.
than a year, that's for sure.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
like a year and a half now.
Yeah, definitely. Been a while. And that was on previous projects you were part of, and obviously I'm not too sure what happened with them, but you decided to make your own, and I mean you're still
Yep.
going now, so yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, both Trent and I met in a previous project, and the two original co-founders, and of course we've done a lot of work with the team and rebuilding out the team as well over the past couple of months. But yeah, no, we started drawing up the concept of Everearn back August, September of 2021, and then we formed and launched in January. And yeah, we're still here. Got a really great team that we're surrounded by. Obviously myself and Trent, but Doug, Amanda, Brendy, really Jason, and a couple of others. And man, like we've kept going every single day, and now we're busting out of the gate right now and hitting it really hard with some really aggressive expansion over the next 3 months and beyond. So it's a super crazy time right now. Everybody's getting exhausted. Everybody's getting tired. I literally fell asleep sitting at my desk last night waiting for a call to begin, and ended up sleeping through the call.
Nice.
But this is the typical run right up to a launch, right? But yeah, no, it's been a crazy time, and man, I think people are going to be pretty impressed with some of the things that they're seeing, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I mean, yeah, we can now that we got our live tech
Now we can
problems
see, yeah.
handled, we can jump right into it.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
So what are we talking
Yeah,
about
where do
today?
you want?
Yeah, what are
Yeah.
we talking about today? What are we talking about? We'll tell everyone.
We're what we want to do is we want to introduce anyone who hasn't yet, of course, seen Everearn previously, but then also tell everybody what it is we're up to. So I've just switched over to my screen share, so you can see the the PDF version of the slide deck. And what we're doing right now is our current push is, of course, rethink your crypto. 2022. This is our most up to date latest
It's
slide deck, and
not popped up by the way, just so you know. Not yet anyway.
let me just double check to make sure I've shared the right one. Let's see here.
It's not just me, guys, with
Stop.
the errors. Hopefully, anyway.
Right, look at that. Right. It's if it's
Oh,
not a
yeah.
technical
Good now.
problem. All right. And is it scrolling?
Yeah, it's all fine. Yeah.
Great. Let me know if it stops
No
scrolling.
problem.
Are you seeing it scroll right now?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So this is our 2022 push, and it's actually going to take us into 2023. So what I want to do is I want to quickly take everyone through the slide deck real quick. I'm going to try to make it as short as possible while not overwhelming you with information or skipping information, but want to walk you through it real quick. So if you haven't heard of Everearn, really briefly, we do already exist on the BNB blockchain. And we have existed since the end of January 28, 2022 is when we launched. We are a rewards token, so not a reflection token, a rewards token. There's a 15% tax on buy, sells, and transfers. That tax or tokenomics is broken down into 11% BUSD rewards, 1% liquidity, 1% buyback and burn, and 2% marketing. Contract features, there's no max wallet. There is a max transaction limit of 0.25% of the supply, which works out to 250 million tokens. Ownership is not renounced because we are an active and involved project, and we do make continuous improvements to it. And of course, within the contract itself as well, there is a blacklist function, and that's important because any project wallets that are holding Everearn, those wallets are blacklisted, so those tokens cannot be moved or sold.
Which is always
And
something
of
you want to
course,
see. Always good.
right, right. And more importantly, and this is a feature we've used multiple times for the community, in the event of someone's wallet being compromised, we've been able to enact blacklist feature on their wallet to prevent threat actors from taking their earn or if a threat actor has managed to steal someone's earn, we can turn off the rewards for that wallet as a result and make sure they can't sell it against the project. And in fact, we've had members who've said, look, you know what? I just really have a lack of trust of technology. I plan to be holding for a while. Can you just blacklist my wallet until I'm ready to do something, and I'll let you guys know? And we'll, yeah, no problem. And it's great because then their Everearn is safe. Nobody can touch it, but they still get their rewards and they can still touch their rewards. So it's like locking it, but you still have access to every other token in your wallet.
Right. Is that just on
So yeah,
the earned extra Everearn, or can you just blacklist the entire wallet? So like, let's say if
no.
someone.
So the blacklist is specific to the earn token.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so it's a feature specifically for the earn token.
Right, gotcha.
Excuse me. Sorry, you guys may hear me cough. I'm still unfortunately dealing with a chest cold, which amazingly enough, if you don't get a whole lot of sleep, it takes longer to get healthy. So who knew? From a 10,000-foot view, right? I mean, Everearn is a rewards token, right? We launched, like I said, January the 28th. 100 billion token supply is the total supply. We burned 15% at launch, so
That's right,
15
yeah.
billion tokens. We have maintained an average burn rate that works out to about 30 million tokens a week. So we are a deflationary token. If you hop on over to BSC Scan and you take a look at our burn graph, or the number of tokens going to the dead wallet, you really do see this nice upward straight curve going along over time, showing that we have maintained regular burns, which is great because then it applies that deflationary pressure against the supply, while applying that inflationary pressure against the reward calculation. And again, it's 11% of the 15% tax that goes back to BUSD rewards. Some of our accomplishments, despite the fact that it's been a down market, and let's be honest, Mayhem, the last 6-7 months has been rough in the
Oh my
crypto
god,
space,
yes. It's been
right?
very rough for everyone, I think.
It's been horrible,
Always
but
way to make
we've
money, but
still,
yeah, definitely been rough.
right? Yeah. But we've still paid out over $2 million in BUSD rewards to
Wow.
holders. We've still
Massive.
managed to launch, our multi-chain wallet browser app. So that's an in-based browser app that allows you to see your wallet, see all of the tokens on your BNB chain, ETH chain, or Poly chain. So right on one screen, you just quickly flip across the different chains, and you can see all the wallets in your tokens. You can see their 24-hour change, their 7-day, their 30-day. You can see the current value if they've got a value assigned to them on BSC Scan. It's great. There's no need for you to download any app since it's right in the browser itself. We've got our Everearn swap, which allows direct fiat purchases. You can also generate a referral code if you want to make a little bit of that transaction money off of friends or family and just give them the referral code. And that's, of course, hosted on the flues.trade network. Something that we've been really, really proud of is the fact that we've not only launched our Everearn Academy, but also our Everearn Glossary. The Academy itself hosts over 112 individual crypto
That's
lessons
a lot.
for those who want to learn about
So
crypto. Yeah.
that's new to me. So I've been in and out of Everearn since this began. That's new to me. I didn't realize you guys have done that many classes already. That's a lot.
Oh yeah, it's constantly being updated on a weekly basis.
Okay, cool.
One of the things that we said from the beginning is that our focus would be would be to educate crypto investors.
Yeah,
So the
which is
academy
brilliant.
really
Yeah.
has been a foundational element that we've maintained. So over 112 individual crypto lessons. We just launched the companion glossary, the Everearn glossary, and presently, Mayhem, it has almost twice as many um, crypto terms defined than anywhere out there on the internet.
Oh, brilliant. That's good.
So, yeah, I mean, a massive amount of terms that have been defined and categorized. Of course, if you're searching for a term, well, this is really great. If you're searching for a term and it turns out we don't actually have it yet, as long as you're signed up as an Everearn Academy member, which is just a sign up, you can actually submit terms
Okay, yeah,
and
that's really cool,
definitions,
actually.
and the team will review it and add it. And it's great because they're cross-referenced and hyperlinked, and you can also insert media into there. So there's the opportunity to drop videos in for further explanations and stuff. But one of the things that we've really viewed as our key to success, and let's be honest, in such a down market due to the macroeconomic effects of inflation around the world, success is the fact that you're still here.
Hmm.
Given that more than 80% of the projects that existed when we launched don't exist anymore, we're still here and we're coming out hard. But we've actually maintained daily AMAs with our community ever since we've launched through this whole time. So every single day
That's amazing.
in front of the community, minimum 30 minutes every day. Generally, the average AMA
Well,
is
like
45 minutes to an hour.
I mean, that's most projects don't even do one every day. So I mean, the fact that you're the way you're making it sound like you're saying, oh, 8 minutes. I'm sorry, we wish we could do longer, but the fact that you're doing 30 minutes a day, that's just, I mean, I've
Yeah,
not
no,
seen it. Yeah,
every single day, 30 minutes to an hour a day, every day, 9 p.m.
well,
Eastern. And I mean, a lot of people, they go, "Oh, AMA, what could you talk about for the project for 30 minutes to an hour?" Well, but it's not just that though. You keep in mind, we've always said from the beginning that we are here to help raise the bar and raise the standard within the crypto space, right?
yeah,
So it's not just talking about what we're doing with the project. Is there enough to talk about every single day for the last 7 months just on the project alone? Well, no, I mean, not unless you're where we are right now, which is a big expansion push, but there's a lot to talk about in crypto and, in the economy and world events with regards to how it is impacting crypto, with regards to the big players who are out there, who's making the big moves, who's expanding, who's collapsing. There is a ton of information out there. And I mean, you know,
yeah.
DYOR gets thrown around so much, right? Do your own research. But the reality is that the average person just simply
Doesn't have a clue.
cannot
Yeah,
do so much
I
research
mean, people
as to become an expert.
as well, like the glossary there, for example, like someone who's coming into, I don't know, crypto's becoming the first thing investors or new investors think of rather than maybe stocks and stuff. So, like having a glossary as well, like for the word
Yeah,
DYOR, do your own research. Some people might not even know what that is until it's mentioned, someone's brought it up or they've asked. Where so having
right.
that glossary there is just information right away. No need to ask
Yeah,
anyone, look for it. It's there. So yeah,
yeah.
fair idea.
Yeah, I mean, we've really gone out of our way to make sure that we've been over communicating with the community
Hmm.
and helping them elevate, excuse me, their ability to invest in themselves so that they can make
Brilliant.
smarter investing
Yeah,
decisions, right?
yeah, yeah.
We've also introduced the monthly community address, which is a formalized, last Friday of every month, formalized AMA, where we bring in a slideshow presentation, which covers what we've done over the last month and what's coming on the month ahead. Of course, our crowning jewel that we believe, of course, is currently our stablecoin staking app. So on
Yeah.
the BNB side of the chain, we've got 4 of them. You don't stake Everearn, but you do need to hold Everearn. You actually stake BUSD.
Yeah, so someone just asked in
Um,
chat, the staking, is
yeah,
that a stable coin? So yeah, so you need to
yeah.
own Everearn. So do you have to own a certain amount of Everearn in order to participate on your staking platform? Is that right? Actually, yeah,
So
you explain it. Go on, you explain it.
yeah. So it's not necessarily that you have to earn a certain amount of Everearn. Is that we wanted to make sure because let's be honest, stablecoin has really become the focus. But
Yeah,
we knew this, months ago when we first launched it. But so you need to own. Sorry, let me back that up. You can stake a certain percentage of the value of the Everearn that you own. So you need to hold. Wow, and I can't believe I'm not ready for this answer. I believe it's 30%. You can stake up to 30% of the Everearn that you own in BUSD rewards.
right. Okay.
So if
Yeah, yeah.
you own $1,000 worth of Everearn, you can stake $300
Right.
in BUSD.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
There's 4 staking apps, not 4 staking options, 4 staking apps, which means you can invest in all 4 of the staking apps. So it's not like select one option and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no more options for you. You can get into each one of them. The 90-day app pays out 59.2% APY in stablecoin. So you're staking BUSD and you're getting your BUSD initial investment back, plus you're getting the percentage back.
Okay.
And they've been running now for the better part of 6 months. They do generate, even with this low volume that we've all been experiencing the last 7 months. They've been generating their own income. That income has been used to then buy back tokens off the chart at full tokenomics,
Okay.
and then either burned or given away to the community as promotion events.
Yeah, that's
So not only are
pretty
you
good.
staking BUSD, getting reward in BUSD, we're then taking that income, we're putting it back on the chart, and then the tokens are either being burned or given back to the community.
Brilliant. And
which is
talk about like ways of getting revenue into the projects. Obviously, that's a lot of money as well, coming in, coming out. Do you want to talk about the revenue streams, or are you going to be talking about that a bit further on?
So we are going to be talking about that a little bit on, but
Yeah.
I mean the BUSD staking apps. There will be stablecoin staking apps on the Ethereum chain as well as on the Polygon chain when we launch. So there's going to be, if you own Everearn across all three blockchains, by the time we get to all three in December, you'll have access to 12 stablecoin staking apps.
Wow. And someone's just asked in chat,
Yeah.
if you hold 1,000 in Earn, can you invest 300 in each one? So I'm assuming he means like BNB,
Yes.
Ethereum, Polygon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, let me back that up. So if you own $1,000 worth of Everearn right now, because
Yeah.
the BNB chain is what's live, if you own $1,000 in Everearn on the BNB chain, there's 4 staking apps. Yes, you can invest $300 worth of BNB into each one of
Oh
the
wow.
4 staking apps.
Okay. So
Yes.
there's your answer, Dennis.
Yes.
There's your answer. That's it's pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course the companion question is great. So what happens if someone then sells? Well, if they sell their Everearn when their staking period ends, they're not kicked out of the staking app right away. They'll still be allowed to stay in for the staking period. But once the staking period ends, they just simply won't be able to get back in because then they won't own any
Right.
Everearn.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah. So let's come along because I don't want to use up everybody's time. So high
That's
level
time.
again, the token distribution. So you should be seeing the token distribution screen right now just to make sure it's sliding.
Yeah, I can see.
At a high level, 39% of the tokens are either locked or blacklisted. So the future use tokens are locked. And any of the project tokens are blacklisted within the contract. We're at just a little past 16% in total that's been burned, and 45% still sit in the public domain, either owned or unowned on PancakeSwap or as locked liquidity.
Right. And this it's not even been a year yet, so they're pretty big
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
Not bad. Pretty good.
Core values, and this is something that we launched with, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but want to make sure it's clear because we're all about who are you investing in, right? And this is the most critical in our opinion. So one is that we run things like a business. So we've established this from the start. We've maintained it all the way through. We don't chase the chart. So we're not the type of group that just start throwing things at the chart to see what sticks. We prefer, rigorous information-based decisions based upon your typical traditional brick and mortar business practices that have been tested over the centuries. So things like return on investment, total cost of ownership, quality, value, in-house versus outsource, things like that. We do not follow the crowd. Just because 10 projects are launching utility tokens doesn't mean we're rushing in to launch utility tokens. Right. So we're really try to stay away from the quote unquote pump and dump moves because we're trying to build for the long term here.
Well, I think you've proved that already. You've proved that already because I mean you've been out since the end of January, so it's coming up to nearly a year now. I mean, tokens like tokens like Everearn, a lot have failed, and you could probably see that. Lots have failed.
That's what I'm saying, right? Over 80% of those who were around don't exist now, and it's right. And I think that's a testament to the team. The fact that we spend a lot of time watching to see what's going on so that we can make the best decisions possible. And they're not always the decisions that everybody else is making. But here we are, coming up on a year, we're still here. The project is still here, still moving forward. We're still making progress. So so things like proof earns trust, here for the people and ethically fair. So proof earns trust. That means making sure our contracts are audited, that I'm doxed and KYC'd. Of course, anyone else on the team is free to do so, like Trent has already as well too. Daily community voice chats. This is something that we've established from the beginning. Absolutely critical. Delivering when we promise, not overhyping, not overselling. Right?
Has there been a day where you've missed one of the days? Like, what happens with that? If it's ever happened.
So with the daily community voice chats, of course, right now there's 3 of us that rotate through. So there's Trent, myself, and Doug. And basically, the three of us keep an eye on it because there have been days where one of us have fallen asleep or gotten sick or, power outage, and the
Right.
other one just jumps in to take over.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, has there been a day where we have absolutely missed? There might have been one day.
Okay.
I can't recall, but I mean, we usually do keep a pretty good eye on
Yeah, of course there's gonna be
on
days, isn't
making
there?
sure of things, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is, of course, is that we do have two real women, real live breathing women on our team, Wendy and Brandy,
Yeah.
who have now also started stepping up. So we're not that far away from our daily AMAs basically being a rotation each day of the week through a different team member, which then just gives us more backup, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So here for the people. So this is understanding that what draws people to us first and foremost is the fact that it is a rewards token, and what they want to see is that consistent and higher returns on their investment, regardless of the market conditions. Then that doesn't mean market conditions can't become slow, doesn't mean volume can't dry up, but what they do expect is, regardless of what the market conditions are, that the team is continuing to show that they're doing everything they can.
Yeah.
Right. And then lastly, ethically fair. And this is a really important one. It means that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what my title is. I don't have any right to make a decision, nor does the rest of the team any right to make a decision that isn't ultimately, first and foremost, in the best interests of the project. And then secondly, in the best interests of the investors.
Right.
Full stop. So we've spent, again, almost a year trying to make sure that we really do solidify and live that on a day-to-day basis. And then really quick, the team, of course, myself, Dave Rahman, one of the original founders, along with Trent Butler. Trent and I mean, titles really don't make a whole lot of difference to the team. I mean, if I got to go out and shovel snow, I go out and shovel snow, right? So,
Nice.
but
That's good.
right.
Yeah, yeah.
But we've got Wendy and Brandy, both of them really active in Women of Everearn group that we have. But Wendy also does, project management and graphics. Brandy over on Twitter and graphics, and also Women of Everearn. Of course, Doug and Jason. Jason is the artist behind the Everearn Academy and Glossary, does a lot of web design. And then Doug fills in the role of strategist, opportunities. And then again, right now, between Trent, Doug, and myself, we rotate through the daily community voice chat so that things are staying fresh and alive and everything. So that's your 10,000-foot level of who we are. So the next question is, why are we expanding to additional blockchains? And the answer is to increase exposure
Yeah.
of Everearn to the widest possible audience, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we want to ensure that we have the greatest chance of continuous income stability and success. But which makes a lot of sense. People are like, okay, yeah, that makes sense, right? You
Yeah,
expand out, you have more access to investors. But more importantly, it's to eliminate single points of failure. And I'll get into that really quick. So one of the things that we want to make sure people understand is that we are multi-chaining Everearn. We are not cross-chaining, we're not tethering, we're not bridging. So Everearn is going to exist on multiple blockchains, initially BNB, Ethereum, and Poly,
which I think
but they
you've
will have
chosen
their
basically
own
the top three.
contracts.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you chose the
And
best
again,
three.
by design, right?
Right,
Well, again, by design, right? When our wallet app came out, that was the three that were already on there.
right.
So a lot of the apps that we already have that exist are already set to
Okay.
kick off on that. It was a matter of just, getting to the point where we could facilitate that. But each one is going to have its own supply on its own blockchain. So there'll be its own contract on BNB, own contract on Ethereum, and own contract on Poly, each with their own independent supply.
Right.
Now, the supplies will be the same, 100 billion token across each chain, and the supplies will be mirrored. So what that means is if there's 16 billion tokens that exist in the dead wallet on BNB, that'll be the exact same number
Oh
on
wow.
Ethereum and the exact same number on Poly. If 39% of the tokens are locked or blacklisted for project use, that's how they'll exist across all three blockchains.
Okay.
So the supply is going to be mirrored across, and that's important because let's say you're one of those investors who says, you know what, I'm a big fan of Everearn. I want to own 1% of the supply on each one of the blockchains.
Yeah.
It's important to investors like that so that they say, I know if the volume is the same, on a day, if the transaction volume is the same, that means I know for a fact I'm going to get the exact same amount of rewards on BNB as I would on Ethereum, as I would on Polygon, because they're all paying out in stable coin. So the results should pretty much be the same. And that's the kind of consistency we want our investors to have. The other reason why we want to mirror the supplies so that when it makes sense to cross chain or bridge or tether, it's just that much easier to do so because the supplies are all mirrored. Some people might ask, okay, so why are we not choosing to cross chain initially? Why are we not choosing to tether and link the liquidities? Why are we not going to go with a single supply? And the answer is, it comes back to the global macroeconomic trends and conditions that we see today, right? Record high inflation, global uncertainty, tensions between the superpowers, China, Russia, Taiwan, Ukraine, the US, right? What are the Feds going to do to try and curb inflation without making things so expensive that people can't even afford to pay groceries anymore, right?
Insane. It's terrible.
Truth, right? The truth of the matter is, if you take a look at all of the economic data, 2023 isn't a very good outlook.
Yeah, I don't think it's
So,
going to be any better. I think it's going to be worse, to be honest. As sad as it is, I
right?
truly think next year, especially the start of the first half of next year, is going to be absolutely terrible.
Right? It could be, right?
Yeah,
Trends are saying that that's what it's going to be.
yeah,
So when you look at it from that perspective, what we prefer to do is to have each token completely unlinked to the other so that they can move freely on their own blockchain unencumbered by the other blockchains, and thereby again spread out that risk as much as possible,
right.
eliminate single points of failure, right? So what that means is basically if BNB has a really bad day for whatever reason, the vast majority of its investors are, for instance, in the US, and they start once again pulling out investments all the way back to stablecoin, then those effects don't affect the other two blockchains. Right. So the
Yeah,
idea is we know that we're heading into some pretty negative economic uncertainty. So why would we want any negative effects to spread out across all the blockchains that we're on? We don't want to do that. We want to mitigate risk as much as possible. The other thing that we don't want to do, and we've put a lot of time to research this, and I'll be honest with you, Mayhem, every single influencer that we interviewed in advance before signing with them all said the same thing, which is when you're tethered and cross-chained and one of the blockchains is doing well or two of the blockchains is doing well, what it does across the other blockchains that they're tethered to is it synthetically raises the price,
mm.
right? Because they're doing well, so liquidity is increasing, and so that liquidity then gets shared out, gets bridged across all the other blockchains,
Yeah, yeah.
and your blockchains which are not doing as well is then synthetically lifted. The price is synthetically lifted because you don't actually have the positive volume to lift it up. What's lifting it up is the other
It's the other
blockchains.
blockchains. Yeah,
So if you're having a bad day, right, on a chart that's being synthetically lifted, what's the net effect? People start to sell because there's a chance to sell.
yeah.
So there's, heading into an economic uncertain time, there is no benefit to sort of having these links between. In fact, the best option right now with what we're facing is to go the direction that we're going. What's so great about this, of course, Mayhem, is if the US is able to turn things around, if the global landscape is able to calm down and turn things around, we are actually very well positioned to then very quickly pivot and turn, go and tether the supply if it makes sense economically, and be in a better position, because what we're planning for is worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So if the best case scenario actually turns out, we're actually in a much more strategic position. So real quickly then, and I know we're going long on time, but real
That's
quickly
okay.
then,
Don't
so
worry.
that leads us into where we're heading,
Yeah,
which is multi-chaining, right? So
yeah.
at a high level, November, in a couple of days, we've got the pre-sale for Earn ETH, and then the launch on Earn ETH, and then the launch on Ethereum on the 10th.
Mm.
December, we're launching on Polygon.
I love
January,
Polygon.
we're coming back around.
I'm a massive
Yeah,
fan of Polygon.
I get a lot of people saying that. Oh, I love Polygon. Can't wait for Polygon.
Just
So yeah,
all the stuff they've been doing
Ethereum
with it,
launches this
insane.
month.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That Polygon's December. We're coming back around to BNB, to migrate over to a V2 so that all of the blockchains are on the exact same contract coding. And then February and March, which is now well out, got some additional triggers that we're pulling, which we're going to hold those tight to the chest. But looking at specifically phase one, which is Earn ETH, again, the tokenomic distribution of Earn ETH is going to mirror the distribution that is on BNB. So 39% will be locked or blacklisted, 16%-ish will be burned, 45%-ish will still be in public domain. So at that high level, it'll still be the same mirrored supply. You'll see the exact same token distribution for Poly, and then when we come back around and relaunch to V2 on BNB, all three will have the exact same down to the detail supply tokenomic distribution. The important dates, we've already missed November 1st and 2nd.
Just
so
pause there quick. So with the mirroring, is that just when it launches or while it's live? So like even
no, the mirroring will be maintained.
Okay, that's my answer.
Yeah. The mirror and this is really important because when we get to that, so first and foremost, we want the supplies on each blockchain to mirror each other.
Yeah.
So that there is no confusion or ambiguity as to what's going on different blockchains, so that the answer is always exactly the same as what's going on here. However, when it comes time to and when it makes sense to financially do this or economically do this, when it comes time to tether or cross-chain or bridge, it just makes the process easier because all three of the supplies will have the exact same makeup.
Right.
So it's going to be less work, effort, and energy to do that down the road. But more importantly is we don't want to muddy the water for the investors. Why do that, right? Why have breakdowns of different things, right? It doesn't make any sense for us. There's no advantage to it. So yeah, the high level dates, of course, November the 9th, the public whitelist presale will be opening on the 5th. So that's, that's only 3 days away. So hop on over to Everearn.academy. You'll see the presale promotion site or link. Click on that. You've got two options of entering. There's the Gleam promotion that you can get in through, which will just give you multiple entries. If for some reason Gleam's giving you a problem, or you're just one of those people who don't like to do multiple entries and you just want to be able to register, there's another link that just gives you a form and allows you to put, your name, email address, wallet address, and how many ETH you're looking to buy, right? November the 10th is when we're launching. The dashboard for Everearn is also updating to include the charts and numbers for Ethereum. Right now it's got BNB. That'll be updated as well for Ethereum. And then November the 24th, basically 2 weeks after our Ethereum launch, we're estimating the release of the Earn ETH USDC staking apps. Like we said, 4 on a BNB right now, and we'll be launching another 4 on the Ethereum side. Private whitelist presale already was held. It was 5% of the total supply, or 5 billion tokens. So what we have coming up is the public whitelist presale. So it will be a public presale, but it is whitelist presale. So you got to go over and register. So everearn.academy/whitelist-promotion, or just hop on over to everearn.academy, and the link's right there on the right-hand side, and you've got 2 ways to enter. It's going to be a 200 ETH.
I've got your links in the description as well. So, like, guys, head over to the website.
Awesome.
You've got a mint page on the website.
Sorry?
On the website, your main website, the Everearn.
Everearn.net?
Yeah, it'll be on there, won't it?
Yeah, there should be a link as well there too. So I just can't see it right now.
Yeah, I know, yes. Yeah, if you want to head over there, find it there as well.
Yes. So for the public whitelist presale, 200 ETH hard cap, which means 100 ETH soft cap. Min buy is 0.2 ETH, max buy 0.8 ETH is the max buy. 0.2 ETH going to get you about 22.5 million earn. And it's a total of 22.7 billion tokens that are being made available for the public whitelist presale, or roughly 22.7%. Of course, final numbers as we get closer to the presale being made live, of course, based upon fluctuating price, but it seems to be lining up right around there. The tokenomics will be exactly the same as what is on Earn BNB, which is a 15% buy-sell tax. The only difference is 11% will be coming back as USDC rewards as opposed to BUSD rewards. 1% liquidity, 1% buyback and burn, and then 2% marketing. Now, here's what's really great and really crazy is during the launch, we are going to have what's called the double diamond dash. So within the token distribution, on BNB and then on Ethereum, there are 2 wallets which hold 1% of the supply, blacklisted within the contract, that are assigned for charity. Okay? During the launch of Ethereum, those 2 wallets will be temporarily repurposed as diamond hand wallets. So from the time that we launch on Ethereum out 4 weeks, so November the 10th to December the 7th, those 2 wallets on the 2 blockchains for 4 weeks are going to build up stablecoin rewards for 4 weeks.
Oh, brilliant.
And those investors who are able to diamond hand it from November the 10th to December the 7th, so no selling, no transferring, they'll distributively split all the stablecoin built up in those 2 wallets.
Wow. So
All
yeah,
the
that's big.
stablecoin.
Yeah.
Right? Potentially huge, potentially tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Right? As well, because we have the Polygon launch coming up, as well, if you're able to diamond hand it, which is why it's called the double diamond dash, if you're able to diamond hand it, you will automatically qualify to be a recipient of the Polygon airdrop. So 2% of the supply, or 2 billion tokens, is being reserved for giveaway to investors who can diamond hand on Ethereum. And so you'll automatically qualify to be part of that. Of course, there's full rules and details and everything, but basically you got to diamond hand it, then you're part of the Polygon airdrop, and you'll be guaranteed a whitelist spot in either the private presale or the public presale for Polygon.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah.
So
Extra,
three really big promotions, right? Right? Yeah, I know, right? But hold on, because it gets better, because now we suddenly shift over to Polygon, right? And keep in mind, Polygon is only 4 weeks away from the launch of Ethereum. So this is going to go by really fast, right? So 4 weeks later, the date breakouts are still the same. On Polygon, 29th and 30th will be the private pre-sales. Again, all the pre-sales are whitelist. So 29th and 30th is the private pre-sales. The 7th of December is the public pre-sale. December the 8th, we launch Poly along with the updated dashboard. And then December the 22nd, 2 weeks later-ish, we come out with the Earn Poly BUSD staking app. So BNB chain is going to be rewarding in BUSD. Ethereum chain is going to be rewarding in USDC, and then Poly is going to be rewarding in BUSD.
You got a busy couple of months.
Right. The private whitelist presale and public whitelist presale numbers will still stay the same. So 5% or 5 billion tokens reserved for the private presale. 22.7% of the supply reserved for the public whitelist presale. Obviously, we don't have numbers yet, because that's a little too far out. And the tokenomics will again be the same: 15%, of which 11% will be stablecoin rewards, 1% liquidity and buyback, 2% marketing. And getting ahead of myself here, and again, the token distribution will remain the same on Poly as it is for Ethereum.
Yeah.
But we're going to be running another promotion. This one's going to be called the Triple Tiara Takedown. So again, if you can diamond hand it from December the 6th to January the 4th, not only is there, so for the Ethereum launch, there's 2 diamond hand wallets, right? 1% on each blockchain. Well, for Poly, now there's 3. Now there's 3 wallets. And for that 4-week period, those 3 wallets will again be building up all the stablecoin rewards in there, holding 1% of the supply. And at the end of that promotion, those who diamond hand it, they will distributively split all of the stablecoin rewards across those 3 wallets now. Now, because we don't immediately have another launch coming up right after Poly, of course, what we're doing is we're opening up a prize pool, the first prize pool, which will be up to 25 prizes, each worth up to $1,000 each.
Wow.
And for every 20 million earn BNB, or 20 million earn ETH, or 20 million earn Poly, that will get you an additional entry into this prize pool competition.
So what if you had, I don't know, let's just say 10 million on BNB, and then 5 million, and then 5 million? Would that count as
20 million earn BNB.
Right.
For every 20 million earn BNB you have, or 20 million earn ETH, or 20 million earn Poly that you have, that will be an additional entry. So if you've got 100 million earn BNB, that's 5 entries.
Right, gotcha.
If you then also have 200 million earn ETH, that's another 10 entries.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then we, of course, immediately now we do have a mini phase, a 2B. That's going to be our rebrand. We're working with a real brick and mortar in the US company called EY Studios, who's rebrand and marketing and web design. So we're launching our rebrand mid-December. The name is still staying the same. It's still Everearn. The logo is still staying the same shape, but we're moving away from the traditional, low cap meme coin dark color scheme.
Right.
And we're moving over not just to a very solid light color theme, we're completely leaving behind the meme theme. Excuse me, sorry about that.
Yeah. So
But more importantly, we're rebranding the look and feel to actually align with what we've been promoting ourselves as, which is increasing awareness, increasing legitimacy. This is going to be a
education,
site that's going
all that
to,
types
yeah,
of stuff.
education. This is going to be a site that heavily focuses on, of transitioning visitors and those are interested into investors. It's a very clean look and feel, very legit look and feel, and will really just realign well with what the team has been branding itself as all this time. So we'll be completely leaving behind any of the dark themed meme look that so many people are used to seeing
Yeah, yeah.
in this space, because we really want to broaden our audience appeal out to those who are just getting into crypto for the first time. And for a lot of people, dark theme looks a little shady, the truth, right?
Yeah, and
For
also
a lot of
like,
people who are not used to it, it's like, oh, why is it so dark, man?
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. And another thing, like, because like you said, most projects have this type of theme, changing it up,
Yeah,
especially now that you've got your multi-chain. You've got your 3 different chains. Like, it's like a refresher. So
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know, reborn, I guess, in a
Yeah,
way.
and make no mistake. I mean, we're working with a real brick and mortar design firm. By the time we relaunch this rebrand, we've been working with EY Studios for the better part of 6 months on this.
Okay.
There is a ton of research, time, effort, and energy. I mean, the community is going to be completely wowed by it, but we're calling it a mini phase because it's not. We don't expect that to be like a catalyst phase for us as
Yeah,
much
yeah.
as another incremental trigger being pulled to continue to further increase and enhance the brand. But man, EY is an amazing company to work with. And then we loop back around to BNB. So moving over to the V2 on BNB, which will just basically just be moving it over to the same contract code that ETH and Poly are on. But then we're going to run the promotion for a third time, Mayhem. So for a third time, once we launch on V2 for a third time, those diamond hand wallets will still be enacted. And for the 4-week period from January 4 forward, those 3 diamond hand wallets on 3 blockchains will again continue to amass stablecoin rewards. And those who can diamond hand it are going to distributively split all the stablecoin involved. And we're going to open up a second prize pool of up to 25 prizes, each worth up to $1,000 each for the second time.
This is just like, this is gonna entice people to hold for a while, a long time. Like, you're gonna want to hold this, and then like, with all the multi chains, as soon as they come out, people are gonna be buying them up, and they're gonna want to hold it
Right.
to get entered
And
into
then what
this.
happens? The price goes up,
Price goes up,
volume goes
volume
up,
goes up.
the volume goes up, the rewards go up. I mean, you got to understand, Mayhem, and a lot of people missed out on this when we first launched on BNB blockchain before Russia attacked the Ukraine. And I don't want to get into the politics, but before Russia attacked the Ukraine, before Lunaterra suddenly crashed, before
Mm.
exchanges started collapsing, before the macroeconomics of hyperinflation began to really just depress the market, and we're talking March, April, where everything just started crumbling down. You guys got to understand, we were on our way up. We hit 38-39 million-dollar market cap. We had members coming into our daily chat getting, depending on how much they were holding, 10, 100, some of them $1,000
A
a
lot.
day in stable coin rewards. We had some people coming into chat crying they just paid off their education for the entire semester. One guy finished paying off his mortgage with the amount of stablecoin rewards he was getting. Like, you got to understand, we've paid out $2 million in stablecoin rewards, and then all the markets came crashing down.
Mm.
So everybody got a taste of what this is like when things are humming along fine and we're not in a super bear market. So there is no reason why we can't get back there. And if you hold, the price holds, transaction volume increases, FOMO starts
And
kicking
yeah, and
in,
the
rewards
chart is
start
a bit of
kicking in,
marketing
right?
as well, isn't it? Like, the chart
Yeah,
Chart's not marketing, but it is at the same time.
it is. Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, that's just another thing as well on top. Good idea.
right. So you know, the next question is like, okay, great. So how are we getting all here, right? Because we got like a few days left, literally a few days left, right? And you're actually our first live AMA for this whole
Nice.
process. And the answer
Privileged,
is
special.
we are literally from, oh yeah, we are literally from today for the next 3 days, we are condensing our marketing and blitzing it across over these 3 days, because we're not interested in people trying to copy us. We've seen tons of that. None of
Yeah.
them have worked because they don't have the team that we have. But more importantly, we want people to get a sense of urgency. So our marketing is blitzing across the next 3 days. Crypto space isn't going to know what hit them. You know, they're not going to have seen anything like this. I mean, it's literally over $50,000 worth of marketing that's blitzing out over the next 3 days.
Yeah, and this isn't a
So
bear
what
market
we've done
too. So
is
like
we've
that's,
actually,
you know,
what's
good.
that?
It's 50 grand in a bear market for marketing. Like that's not small talk.
It is not. It is
So
not. And what we've done with that money has been huge.
yeah,
So first of all, from an AMA and marketing perspective, we got Brave Browser that's kicking off today, focusing specifically on Canada, US, Western Europe. We know these are big Ethereum market groups, so we're focusing on them. Over 3 million people on Brave, which have been identified as Ethereum crypto investors, are being targeted. We've got an AMA that's a recorded AMA that's already launching tomorrow with Crypto Zeus. We've got Twitter influencer Mob the Crypto Boss, Jerka calls on crypto. We've got CoinMerge advertising Twitter and advertising on their platform. Dan's Road to Riches on YouTube. You here on YouTube. Free Lunch on YouTube. Crypto Cat on Twitter as well too. But and that's AMAs and marketing.
yeah.
We've also taken the additional step though to actually form partnerships. Okay. So, strategic partnerships. We've got both Mike the Investor with his over 100,000 followers across YouTube and Twitter, who is a brand ambassador for us, as well as Mobile
Oh
Trades,
nice,
who
yeah.
has signed on as a
Oh, I know
brand
mobile
ambassador for
trades.
us.
We talk quite a bit now and again
Right?
on Twitter.
Right. We've got EY Studios, who's handling our marketing and design. I just realized I grabbed the slightly not totally up to date slide deck. What's missing on here is our partnership with Bitcoin.com.
Yeah.
So there will be a podcast that's releasing this week, along with newsletter, along with media article drop, along with banner ads. The target is over an additional 2.5 million people through Bitcoin.com. We've got essentially an exclusive development contract set up with Rug Free Coins, very well known in this space, for all of our development over the next 6 months, to give you guys an idea of how much development there's going to be. 6 months, and we're going with Rug Free Coins elevates everything in that level of trust and transparency, because it's not the internal team that's just a part of the development. We've gone third party with a vendor who's trusted, known well in this industry, right?
Yeah, that's good.
And that's the strategic partners. And all of this is now beginning to explode starting from today. Now, right now, of course, we've got the registration beginning, the private whitelist presale registration. You can hop over to everearn.net. There's a link there, or hop over to everearn.academy. The link is right there as well too. You can either just fill out the simple form off to the right, or go into Gleam for additional ways to get more entries. We know for Brave browsers, because they block all kinds of cookies and notifications, Gleam can sometimes cause problems for people. So instead, you can hop on over to just the plain registration form. But here's the thing, Mayhem. Usually at this point of a sales, people are like, man, this is great. This is crazy. 3 big expansions, 12 staking apps, big promotions, a ton of marketing going on.
Massive.
It may not seem like it. It may not seem like it, but on these 2 pages alone, this is really critical. On the strategic partnership page and on the AMA marketing page, what you're talking about is over 650,000 followers of
Yeah, that's
influencers alone.
massive. It's loads.
Sorry, 605.
Yeah,
605,000 followers of influencers.
that's just
That
the
is
start.
massive,
Because it
right?
says, if you go back to
So
that
usually,
strategic page or the follower page, it says in the little bottom right, like you might be in talks with other people too?
We're still
Yeah,
we're still taking meetings with influencers to keep signing them up.
yeah,
And here's the thing: we actually take the time, and you know who's also missing off here is who signed up yesterday, Glorious,
right.
who will be dropping a project review tomorrow along with his 97,000 followers. So it's not just a here's the chart, here's this website, here's my thoughts. No, no, no. We actually handed Glorious this slide deck for himself. So he's
Nice.
got all the details. We actually met with him in a call. This is what we've done with all of the influencers that we're working with. We've actually taken the time and insisted that we have a virtual face-to-face conversation with him,
Hmm.
right? Each and every one of them, so that they're very clear on what it is we're doing, because we want to ensure that we've got that transparency and trust from the start. We're not here to overhype. We're not here to overpromise. We're not here to try and get you to believe in something that isn't real. And this is where usually at this part of the presentation, people are like, this is great, Dave. You got all these things going on, but come on, what's the big thing? Like what's coming up down the road to get me really, really excited, right? Because that's always what everybody says, right? I could have just told you that, we've got the Queen of England who's signing on as an investor, and you'd still be saying, okay, but what's the next big thing, right?
Well, it's impossible there because she sadly passed away. But no, I totally get
Oh,
I
yeah,
totally
yeah,
get your
no, yeah,
points.
yeah, 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 right? But and so and here's the answer that I'm going to give you, because the answer is the next big thing is not what you should be focusing on. Take a look at what we've seen over the last 6, 7 months in this market, right?
Yeah.
I'll actually stop sharing my screen since we're at the end of that slide deck. So, and we can switch over so that you guys can see me again. Uh, and start video.
There he is.
Make sure I'm still there. Oh, there I am. Great. Make sure you can see me again as well too.
Yeah.
And so this is where, so what's the next big thing? And this is where I say, but the issue is that the next big thing is not what you want to be focusing on. And this is why. Because for the last 6, 7 months, what we have seen is a ton of projects out there trying to hit the next big thing, right? Whether it's utility tokens or trader tokens, whether it's your own private DEX, whether it's the next version of the sell list contract, whether it's projects where you can only sell, let's say, 1% of your total ownings.
Hmm.
So it's a guaranteed can't drop chart. Whatever it is, we have seen 6, 7 months of projects throwing everything they can to try and fight the downtrend.
Yeah, and it just doesn't work.
So we've seen 6, 7 months
Mm.
of the next big thing. Here's the problem with the next big thing. Okay, one, might overhype it, and now it's not as big as what you think it's going to be. But the problem is, even if it's as big as I say it's going to be, the moment we go live with it, the moment we let it out of the bag, 50 other people have it copied,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's the next big thing? Like, really? Because here's the other problem too, Mayhem. You might say, oh my God, look at that. You guys are launching on Poly. I can't wait for you to get on Poly. Love Poly,
Mm.
right? The guy beside you might be like, meh, Poly.
Yeah.
Couldn't care less
Yeah. Yeah.
about
Yeah.
Poly. So this is the other problem that you're facing with the next big thing, because it's now all personal to each person, right? So why am I saying that you're focusing on the wrong thing if you're asking about the next big thing? Because the next big thing isn't what is going to eventually take your project to $1 billion market cap, whether we're talking 50 million, 500 million, a billion. The next big thing is not what's going to take you there, because it's so easy to copy the thing.
Yeah.
What will take you there are the people running the project, the team who is able to make it through some of the worst market trends in recent history. For some investors, in the only history they've ever known,
Yeah.
right?
Well, this is
It is
like
the team behind that project.
like I'm only 22, and I was only a
Yeah.
kid for the 2008 crisis. So like right now,
Were you even in crypto at that point?
no, I mean it wasn't even around,
Right?
was it? I guess it was just starting, wasn't it? But like I was in primary school, which is I don't know what it is in the US grade system and stuff like that. But I was 8 years old, so
Yeah.
like
Right.
this might be my
So
first.
for a lot of people,
No,
this is the
yeah, yeah,
worst
yeah,
downtrend they have ever seen.
yeah. It
So
really is.
so what but so this is where the question becomes, what are you investing in,
Mm.
right? Are you investing in a team that during the worst crypto downtrend was able to read the signs, was able to make the smart decisions, was able to keep the project going through the worst times,
Don't
and
forget the
now
daily
have come
AMAs.
out the other
Don't
side,
forget the
right?
little thing.
Sorry?
Yeah. Don't forget the daily AMAs. The daily
The day, oh yes, of course, the daily
stuff.
AMAs, right? And this is just it. Like we've made sure every step of the way that we've been communicating with our community about what it is we're doing, so that no one's been surprised about it, right?
Hmm.
Because it is the team that is able to make these decisions regardless of what everyone else is doing. It's the team that's able to make these decisions to get you through the worst that will allow the project to evolve from project phase, from business phase to growth phase, and make those incremental decisions, pull those incremental triggers to get you to those big market caps. How do you think big projects today got there?
Yeah.
By having the right team run them,
Yeah, and keep
not
building
focusing
and
on the chart,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, you got to keep building, you got to keep growing. It doesn't mean everything coming out of the gate is going to be the next big thing,
You've got them
but the
people trying
team
to
that
push you
continues to
down.
push forward,
You've
right?
got, people full in the chat saying, "Oh, when's this? When's that?" And
Right?
it's like, we're building. Leave us alone. But the thing is, like, you're not leaving them alone either, because you've got the daily stuff. But like,
Yeah.
you're doing it
Yeah.
all really.
So I mean, this is and this is something that we've spent a lot of time continuously educating our community, right? This is why, we say rethink your crypto. What is it that you are here to invest
Yeah,
in? It's okay to be a day trader. Don't get me wrong, and I've said this many times in the community. Doesn't matter if you're a day trader, doesn't matter if you're here for the pump and dump. The best thing that you can do for your own investment is to know what kind of a trader you are, right? If you're the day trader, go be a day trader and become the best day trader you can and invest in tokens that support that. But if you're really here for the long term, if you're really here for the token that's building itself to have the legs to go for years, then what you need to be focusing on is the people behind it, because that's really what you're investing in.
definitely.
That is what you're investing in, right? And that is what we're offering. We're not offering any false hype. We're not saying, oh my God, in 4 months' time, what we're going to come out with is going to be, better than sliced bread, and we're going to be able to,
Get a billion market
do
cap.
15 different, right? Yeah, like, come on, like, people don't need that. In order for us to raise the legitimacy in this space, we need more legitimate teams coming out and being able to properly manage the expectations of the community, provide a safe, scam-free place to invest. That's how we move towards mass adoption, and that is what the Everearn team has continued to focus on, right? Real people doing real work, putting in the effort every single day. So, I mean, we really want everyone to join us. It's going to be absolutely crazy. We want to see big things happen. Market trending, although 2023 not looking so great, the simple fact of the matter is, heading into the US election, watching what the feds are doing with inflation, we're looking at a really, really good market trend heading into the end of the year. And those who join us could potentially hop aboard that train and ride that really good market trend right to the end of the year. And it could be crazy. It could be crazy. So we really want everyone to be joining us. And yeah, I mean, hop into Telegram,
Links for all
join
in the
us. We
description.
don't shy away from,
Make sure to
sorry?
check that out. The description. All links are there.
Yeah. Because we don't shy away from any questions,
Mm-hmm.
right? Every day
You
we're
really
there,
don't. Yeah,
we're in
really
front of
good
the
at that.
community. So yeah.
I can see you being on a stage of like tens of thousands of people, just like generally can.
No. Right?
Very easy and good to
Um,
listen to. So
I mean, I mean, yeah, I mean, every project's got to have that face of the project.
mhm.
And it's just, it worked out that way pretty early from the beginning, that I sort of became the face of the project.
Mm.
But the team's been very clear on this too, and we've been very clear in the community. At the end of the day, our project is not, and want to make sure this is clear, not the Dave show, right? Yeah, I come on and I can communicate and I can
Funny.
talk and I feel comfortable in front of the camera, and that's great. That's good, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you want someone who can do that, right? But Everearn is bigger than I am. There is a whole team of people here working every single day. Doug, Trent, Brandy, Wendy,
That's
Jason,
good.
Doug.
That's good that you want to
You
like
know,
diversify the team, because like if it was just you, you're gonna I mean, I could be wrong,
Well,
but you're going to
I need to
struggle,
take,
aren't you? Yeah,
I need to take
yeah,
time off,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I need to be able to get sick, right? I need to be able to go on vacation with
No,
my
you're not
family,
allowed.
right? I need to be able to sleep, right? And we really do make that's why like on a weekly basis we split up the AMAs, so that Doug is doing some, Trent's doing some. Wendy already helps with co-hosting, so does Jason. We expect Brandy to be stepping up soon, and this really is, Everearn is bigger than just one person
Yeah.
on the team, and we want that intentionally. Can I come in and do an AMA like this for you for an hour and get the energy up there and get the hype, and I'm super comfortable in front of the camera? Yes, but that's a role that needs to be fulfilled,
Mhm.
much like Doug the strategist, or Trent, the guy who's able to have the AMAs where it feels like you're just in a warm conversation, right?
Yeah.
Each one of us has a role that needs to be filled on purpose for everything to succeed properly. So yeah, not the Dave show. It's very much an entire team of people that are working to make this as successful as possible, and we don't try to be anything other than real people putting in our best effort.
I like that. Well said.
Yeah.
Very good. It's
So yeah.
your team must be happy to be working alongside you, because I mean, there is projects where they have that one person who just wants to do it all their own direction, and ultimately, not all the time, but 90% of the time, then projects fail just because that one person wasn't happy to
Mhm.
listen. So I think,
Well, so here's the thing. So in my day job, because and this is important for the community to know as well, every single person on the team does have a day job.
okay,
I think, me personally, I think that's absolutely critical.
hmm
If you have a team that's working and nobody has a job, well, they need to pay rent somehow. So where's the money coming from to pay rent?
hmm
And if it is absolutely critical that the project pay for their living expense, then when you go into an economic downturn, what happens? Well, there's no money, so there's no work happening,
hmm
and therefore the project dies. If it wasn't for the fact that every person on the team has a day job,
you might
like,
not be around
we
now,
could
do you
have very
reckon?
well, right? Yeah,
Right.
100%,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But again, so these are kind of those foundational moves that we've made from the beginning, and we've been very open and honest about the fact that everyone has a day job. My employer knows
Yeah.
that on my downtime or on the side,
hmm
I do crypto, I run
That's the
Everearn.
same
We've
with
had
me. Yeah.
conversations
So I
about it,
work a day job as well.
right?
Exactly the same as me.
Right? Right? So the point being, and I guess I totally forgot what the point was now, because I totally forgot the question.
I forgot the question now.
I
What are we
forgot
talking
I
about?
forgot where we were going with this. Good Lord.
Uh,
Yeah, totally forgot where we were going with this.
I
Day
forgot
job,
now.
and totally went off topic. Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
think it was just saying, like, you guys have got day jobs. If the project isn't making money, the project still has the team because you guys can still continue working. Still got money coming in from an
Yeah, we
outside
can
source.
we can still pay rent, right?
Yeah.
We can still take care of our families, right? So, and that's been absolutely critical over the past 6 months. So, again, we don't try to pretend that we're something that we're not. We don't sit back and go, oh yeah, I work on this all day long, it's the only thing I do. No, I do have a day job,
hmm
right? I do have a family. I do have 3 young children and a wife, and they also need my time.
hmm
But the team works together so that it is very much a team effort on a daily basis, so that on a daily basis there's work getting done on the project.
And that's, I mean, being open and honest like that, people are going to want to check the project out and potentially invest just because of the honesty. So people know what they're getting into before they get into it, and I like that. And that's
Yeah,
what you want. So
yeah.
good. Um,
Well, it's the only way towards mass adoption,
yeah,
right? I mean,
definitely.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so just say
I
if
keep cutting you
anyone
off.
who's watching, it's okay. Yeah, you're just excited. I like that. It's good. It's good. So if people watching, any questions? Also links are all down below, guys. If anyone's watching and wants to check
Yeah.
them out even more, so make sure to join the Telegram. Questions, all that type of stuff. If anyone has any questions now, please do say. If there's anything else you want to say? I don't know if that's the end, but I've enjoyed this little chat with you. It's my first actual live stream AMA on this channel, believe it or not. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
You've done great. I'm definitely willing to work with you again. You've done a
brilliant.
fantastic job, Mayhem. Oh yeah.
Thank you. I mean, we've known each other for like a year now, so it's been a while.
I know, right? Oh, we're absolutely working together some more. So
Brilliant. So I don't think anyone's put anything, but That's okay. This is going to be on the channel forever and ever.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, it's very common when I run through an AMA like this. It is very common that there are not really a whole lot of questions because I really do try to ensure that we're answering everyone's questions up front. I sort of look at it as if there's a lot of questions afterwards, then I've sort of missed the mark.
Right.
So I really do try to make sure that I'm giving a complete picture so that people are basically at a point where they're going, huh, yeah, I'm going to go check this out because, yeah, this is making sense to me. Let's be honest. It's better not to leave questions, right? I mean,
because it means everyone's understood. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, you've done a good
100%.
job. I appreciate your time coming on here. I think that's brilliant. And
absolutely,
like you said,
I really do appreciate it, Mayhem. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Excellent.
So hop on over to everearn.net, everearn.academy.
Links down
Don't
below.
miss out on the pre-sale. I'm telling you, don't miss out on the pre-sale. As always, do your own research. If this is something you feel that's right for you, then don't miss out on the pre-sale. Whether it's us or any other project, always clearly understand what it is you're investing in, and what you're investing in is a who. It's always a who. So join us. We'd love it. Hop into the community every night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We do an AMA with the community. So someone on the team is always available. Don't care the questions. Bring them in. We'll answer them. Love to talk to you guys.
You can't see me, but I've got my hands pointing downwards to the description. So everyone go down there, do that.
Down there.
Brilliant. Cheers,
down
Dave.
there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayhem.
Cheers,
really
guys.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Cheers, man. Right, so I've ended the stream. That was brilliant. Cheers for that.
Yeah.